What's up guys, Knife Fanatic here. Hope all of y'all are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Artisan Cutlery Rustic Boa. I got this a couple weeks ago and I ordered it when it was on the Kickstarter campaign. The early bird special was like $179 for this knife. And right now it's retailing for $285, but they're doing like a sale on it for 25% off, which is coming down to $213.75 for this guy. I'm not sure how long that's gonna stick around for, but you can pre-order this knife, and I believe they're gonna start shipping this out this month in December. But yeah, so we're gonna go over this knife and I'll give y'all some pros and cons that are my opinions, and you know, not everyone is gonna have the same opinion, of course, but these are just kind of some things that I feel about this knife. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with some quick specs here real quick. Let's see. So we have a blade length of 3.12 inches. Blade thickness is 0.13 inches. We have a sand polished S35 VN drop point blade here. Coming in at an HRC of 59 to 61. We have a flat grind on the blade as well. We have gray titanium scales with a milled titanium pocket clip, and green canvas micarta for the inlays here. What else? Ceramic ball bearings for the pivot. Overall length is 7.21 inches, closed length is 4.09 inches, and the weight is coming in at 3.18 ounces. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, I really like this knife. The overall aesthetics and just everything about it is really nice. The ergos, it just feels really nice. You have kind of these little grooves right here in the handle to kind of, you know, have your fingers rest in there. It's just really comfortable, and I like this little ramp right here. I would call this kind of like a drop point harpoon, because this little ramp right here, but they just call it a drop point blade. Really nice stone, not stone wash, a sand polished blade, which to me it just kind of looks like almost like a satin finish. It could be the same thing, just kind of a different name for that, but I'm not too familiar with sand polished blades because this I believe is probably my first one. But nonetheless, it's really nice. We have S35 VN, and I'm assuming the model number right there. On the other side, we have the Artisan Cutlery logo right there. The plunge line is plunge line and sharpening choil aren't the best. The plunge line ends, as you can see, pretty much right here where the end of the blade is. So that would have been nice if, you know, the plunge line was the plunge line was pushed back just a little bit. The hole cut out in the blade is mildly chamfered. It's not too rounded off, so you know, you might shave off a little bit of your fingernail, you know, on the reverse flicks. The spine of the blade is pretty sharp, but that's pretty typical or normal if they don't, you know, crown the spine. Lock up, very solid, no play side to side or up and down. We have, looks like about 50% lockup right there. So, excuse me. Centering looks good. I believe I said it's a milled titanium pocket clip earlier, but I'm fairly certain that it is. It doesn't say or specify on the website, but I'm assuming it is. We have a titanium backspacer here that has Artisan Cutlerty and the 3 little hash marks, which I believe are the signature for the creator of this knife. And his name is, one second, let me pull it up here. Jonathan Shaw. Yeah, he's the designer of this knife and collaborated with Artisan Cutlery to come up with this knife. So there's 3 other versions of this knife. A completely blacked out one with carbon fiber inlays, and a full dressed one which has, I believe, Damascus scales. It could be some other form of titanium. And then let's see, I believe, yeah, there's a basically like a jigged titanium, or they call it the stippled boa. Let's see. So yeah, the full dress one is Damascus. Damascus handles with a the sand polished, or actually it's a full mirror polished on the blade with an S90V blade instead of the S35VN. That's coming in at $750, and that's on sale, 25% off. The retail is $999. Yeah, pretty much $1,000 for that, which, in my opinion, that is really pushing it for this knife. The price that I got this guy at, $179 on the Kickstarter, I believe is a fair price. The retail for this is coming in at $213 now with that 25% off. And it, you know, the full price for this is $285, which I don't think is a good price for this knife. I believe $213 even is, it's an okay price, but I really think the $179 price for this guy is a great value. So yeah, let's keep moving on. So we have a front flipper here that works great. I love this, you know, Mohawk type design front flipper. It has really nice jimping on it and is very easy. I'm not a big front flipper guy, but after carrying this knife for a couple weeks, I've been mainly using the cutout in the blade and the front flipper, which works really well. You can kind of over the top it. I can't really get the side finger down. I mean, there we go. I think I just got lucky there, but yeah. The detent, I think, is a little on the stronger side, especially for these thumb studs. These thumb studs, in my opinion, are not great. They're pretty bad in my opinion is like for the detent. I wish that they had, you know, made different thumb studs or put on different thumb studs for this, because it's just very, these thumb studs are very pointy. I wish that, here, I'll get another knife to kind of show you guys here. What do we got? See, and even the CJRB Pyrite here. So CJRB is, I'm pretty sure, a sister company of Artisan Cutlery. They're very similar, but the thumb studs on the Pyrite, they still have that ball tip right there, but they're much more like the angle is a lot more wider, I guess you would say. They're not as acute as the Rustic boa here. So let's see. And yeah, they are kind of pointy, but the detent, you know, it's not a heavy detent for this, so they're not uncomfortable. What makes this uncomfortable is the combination of the pointy thumb studs and the harder detent. Another good example of some nice thumb studs are the Vostede Raccoon here. As you can see, it's a very subtle or gradual angle on that incline there. And they also don't have a point. It's just flat in the middle, which is really comfortable. Whoops. There we go. Same thing with the mini Old Guard from Monterey Bay Knives here. We have some nice thumb studs with the flat middle, kind of hollowed out middle rather. And then one more. This is the TRM Shadow. Whoops. There we go. So these are a lot wider than, let's see if we can, you notice the difference in the width there, or the diameter rather, of the thumb studs. So these do have kind of a point to them, but the angle of the incline isn't as steep. It's more gradual than these guys right here. Let's do a little side-by-side comparison. So yeah, that's kind of my nitpick on the thumb studs on this guy. The lock bar, when you're closing this knife, it'll sometimes rub up against the micarta inlay here and catch onto it, and you can actually hear it if here, I'll try to, you can hear it like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but it'll basically, the micarta inlay here is not really and I'm sure this will wear in over time, but after, you know, multiple openings and closings of the knife, but the frame lock there, or the liner lock rather, it'll rub up against and catch that micarta inlay, and sometimes it can be kind of annoying when you're trying to close the knife and it'll catch on that micarta inlay and it won't really close the knife. The action, is very smooth on this. This is really a great action on this knife. As you can see, it's just some really light shakes, and she's closed. You can do one hard, kind of a medium shake, and she'll close. But yeah, these thumb studs are very uncomfortable. You can reverse flick off the thumb studs. Hold on. There we go. But basically the hole here is gonna be king for the reverse flicks. Again, the front flipper is fantastic. That hole cut out for reverse flicks is great. The overall fit and finish, the transition, you know, from in between the titanium and the micarta is done really well. Very nice. We do have kind of a lanyard post back here, but I don't know, it looks like it might catch on the blade depending on how long the lanyard is. The ramp is done really well. This slides in and out of my my pants very well. The pockets, it's not going to eat up the pockets or anything because this nice and smooth micarta, and the ramp is done really well. Got a good amount of room here for the seam of your pants, and it's a fairly deep carry. You're gonna have, you know, basically just that little screw hanging out the pocket. But yeah, this is a great knife. I think, again, 213 bucks for this right now is an okay price, but I really think the 179 was you know, where it was at for this knife. This is a great knife for that price. What else? T8 for the pivot, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, T8 for the pivot, T8 for the body screws, and let's see. Oh yeah, T8 for the pocket clip screw as well, which is really nice, and it's not reversible, by the way. So yeah, T8 all around, very nice to see that. I love it. Yeah, very smooth action. The detent is really good for the reverse flicks and the front flipper, but for the thumb studs, I think it's a little bit much. But man, this front flipper is done really well. Full 4-finger grip there. But yeah, S35 is used on a lot of hunting or outdoors kind of knives, fixed blades. It has a very high toughness rating to it rather, and high resistance to wear. It is a stainless steel, so it's going to have a good resistance to corrosion, but it will still rust eventually if you don't, you know, take care of it. Just pretty much like any steel, besides some other super steels that are impervious to rust. It is a little difficult to sharpen or touch up, but it's not too bad. What else? Did I miss anything? I think that's pretty much it for this knife. Well, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what y'all think of this knife. If you have it, let me know your experiences with it. I'd love to hear all the comments, questions, and all that stuff. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed. And Knife Fanatic out.